Suddenly my energy level has gone through the roof.
Did you just see the latest Rick Shiels podcast? I did. Rick is so giddy with some breaking news that he actually states in the middle of the podcast that they had to cut away a part of the podcast.
Frustratingly, we can't talk about it now. We were mid-podcast, was obviously we had to cut there. Something happened in the studio. Somebody came and met us with some very important and very special news.
I was presented with something
That's insane.
that you'll all know about, and believe me when I say this, everybody is going to know about this in the entire world.
Yes.
Rick Shiels will be playing Augusta National, the symbol of legacy and tradition. Now, recently, the PGA Tour did away with this whole facade it was hiding behind, that the way it played the game and the way it conducted its events was all about legacy and tradition. The PGA Tour, next year, 13 events that are designated, quote unquote, will drop the cut requirement. There's going to be no more cuts. Why? Because they want their big stars to be around the weekends to make the sponsors happy. Now all the PGA Tour players are coming out on record saying, well, now we recognize that golf is entertainment and it's a product and, yada, yada.
At the end of the day, I think with, all these designated events and this event schedule, at the end of the day, we're selling a product to people, and the more clarity they have on that product and knowing what they're buying is really important. It's really important for the tour, and I think this solves for that.
It's all about golf being entertaining and a product rather than the whole spiel of legacy and tradition. This is highlighted by the fact, again, that Rick Shiels is now going to be playing Augusta National. Probably in one of his break 85 or break 95s or whatever he's going to be doing. The whole podcast episode, Rick keeps insisting, got to go practice. Time for me to go hit balls like I've never done before. He's not going to hit balls like he's never done before. He's going to flip his wrists at the ball, hit a bunch of duck hooks, and then when he doesn't get the timing right, block them way right. And we've all seen it before. His poor shots have hurt all of our souls collectively. But let's move on from that. In this episode of Big Boy Pants Golf, YouTube's hottest golf channel, we're going to focus on the ramifications of Rick Shiels getting invited to play Augusta National. Now, we know that Rick Shiels is the #1 golf YouTuber, 2.5 million subscribers, and he is the epitome of seeking out views. Rick Shiels brings a huge audience with him to Augusta National. But think what this does for both LIV Golf and the PGA Tour in terms of golf YouTubers. They're starting to realize that these golf YouTubers have their own built-in audiences and are truly the hottest commodities. Forget the player who's ranked 70th or 80th in the world. No one cares. What we care about is being entertained. The golf world has gone full idiocracy. Just feed me. I'm hungry. That's all that matters. And I need to be entertained. So bring in good. Bring in Micah Morris and the other dude, Grant Horvat. Give me Paige Spiranak. She would be perfect for LIV Golf. She would have her own team. They would be called Alpha Jugs. I'm already doing the marketing department's work for them. How awesome is this just full-on rant? There's no editing here. Okay, there's some editing. I do a lot of mumbling at some points. I was at the gym the other day, and I saw this lady working out, and she had a t-shirt on that said, strong female. And I thought to myself, that's redundant. Your big takeaway is that LIV Golf and the PGA Tour should now be actively looking for the most popular golf YouTubers to actually join in their events like the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Imagine if you have Golf Sidekick on the 18th green talking about some South African thing that none of us has ever heard before, even though we've watched Leonardo DiCaprio in Blood Diamond at least 3 times. It's a culture exchange. It's a sign of the times. Let's all move forward as a unit together. This is my very special message for Golf Sidekick. And it's a word. It's from South Africa, Ubuntu. It means I am who I am because of who we all are. Yes, I did just hear Tom Cruise say this in an Instagram reel, but it doesn't mean I don't mean it. And this is just the beginning, folks. Now that we recognize golf is about entertainment and getting eyeballs, after the golf YouTubers, what about the celebrities and the athletes with more focus on them than at the actual golfers? Imagine if the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am wasn't just focusing on Bill Murray and the golfers and actually went into the other stories. You can get people from the YouTube channel Soft White Underbelly for cheap, I'm sure. It'll make their golf real gritty. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't want to know your dark past, but I actually do because I watch Soft White Underbelly. Moving forward, we're getting to celebrities. Patrick Mahomes' younger brother. He's doing TikTok dances on every green. People can't stop him. Why are we fighting this now that we don't have to focus on legacy and tradition? In terms of tradition, I want you to keep this in mind because I've used the Asian quote, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step," way too often. So I talked to another guy named Alvin, who, yes, is Asian because apparently Asian parents have a special little black book of not normally used names, which they name their kids just so they don't fit in, because not fitting in helps you with STEM classes. Anyway, Alvin's quote is, "Tradition is the dead's way of bullying the living." Yeah, I know, insane. I'm going to start throwing that into day-to-day conversations, and I think you should too. And we all realize, and we can at least be honest about it now, it's a big money grab. People want to be entertained. Movies aren't good anymore. Ant-Man 3 bombed. Paul Rudd, you're not invited to the golf. No one watched your movie. The reason my theory works, and I don't have any type of PhD in marketing or brand and design or any of that stuff. What I do have, what I bring to the table, is a certain Asian mysticism, if you will. That a fact that I can see into the future. So when this happens, when this goes down, you realize, hey, I saw it on Big Boy Pants Golf, YouTube's hottest golf channel first. And you give me my props. A special shout out to John Munno, the Oracle from Oklahoma, who months ago said that LIV Golf should focus on having these golf YouTubers in their pro-ams. I kind of had it in the back of my head the whole time. And then once I heard that Rick Shiels is playing Augusta National, everything clicked. This is actually going down. You know, just like with actors and movies, I was watching a YouTube video on the casting for Bonfire of the Vanities. I didn't watch the movie. Apparently it bombed back in the day. But what was important about it is that when they did the casting, it was all done with the idea of how many fans could this actor bring in? How many fans could this actor bring in? And that's how they put the cast together, rather than who has more vanity for the bonfire. John, interestingly, has his own YouTube channel. It involves engineering. I wasn't interested in engineering beforehand, but now I want to know every detail. John's channel is basically like that HBO series Chernobyl, if they had guys in there who knew what they were doing to prevent that type of nuclear disaster. You know what? Why don't we get a energy risk management engineer into one of these LIV Golf or PGA Tour events? Because to me, preventing nuclear disasters and radioactive fallout is also kind of a big deal.